Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assembly and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. I recorded this already and then I found out that the sound just went out 3 minutes in. I don't know why, I don't care. I trashed that particular copy. Let me start by giving shouts out to D. Smith for coming through on the Cash App with a triple-digit donation. I would say more, but I do respect the privacy of the donors and I still believe in giving them credit. And I want to thank the donors who came through during the live stream. DJ DN and Gail at Night from the bottom of my black heart. D. Smith, you took the cake. You came through with the triple digits. And in all honesty, if there were more that just cash apped me 50 cents, if most of my subscribers cash apped 50 cents, then I would have, I'd be able to get the business up going, and then I could probably do more with the channel in terms of, I'd say maybe in terms of editing. But it's not your responsibility per se. However, what I am saying is that I've got a few donors that take it upon themselves to be as generous as a multitude, but just by themselves. So when any of you do this, I believe me when I tell you I really do appreciate that. Also, I want to thank my Black Tree On subscribers. And I'm going to get back to recording more the day after tomorrow for you, inshallah. Some funny stories from teaching lately. I think you'll enjoy them. But in any case, I open this up to talk about Black populations of the future, and I don't really think that it should take me a long time to do this. First thing I'm going to tell you is this. Now, I already talked about the Negropean. The misandrist is a Negropean as well. The panda bears are also Negropeans because they work against the Black population. Now, I'll start by defining what I mean by Black. When I say I'm Black, I'm talking about the race, not just being an American. I'm talking about the race. To me, Black don't mean Black American. It means the race, the African tropical equatorial race. That's what it means to me. It doesn't mean to me just being Black American. It doesn't mean to me just having the fitted baseball cap. Doesn't mean any of these things to me. It means what I told you. I'm very proud to be from the race to which I belong. I'm very proud to be from the ethnicity within this race to which I belong, and the tribe within that to which I belong. I'm proud. And of course, there are Muslims who are going to say, well, wait a minute. Are you proud to be Muslim? Of course I am. But that should go without saying. I am proud to be of our race, Black. I am proud to be FBA, and I'm proud to be Creole. I wouldn't even say proud per se. I feel honored that God made me of such. I have seen how our people across the board are talented. And in all honesty, I understand one of the reasons why the racists have to be the way that they are. They realize that when people are not racist and biased against us, they wind up being biased for us. That does happen as well, too. That's a phenomenon I have observed, but you have to be here to be able to be biased for us without some kind of penalty or losing something. That can only happen here. Look, I'm not with the division. I'm with the distinction, as I've stated before. You already know that. I won't beat that dead horse. I am all for LAR movement beating the crap out of these Negropeans of any origin that talk that major bovine excrement about stop having a victim mentality, I think he should beat the snot out of them if he catches them. And that they should not have a victim mentality when he's done beating them and stomping them. I'm not the violent type myself, but I might come along and empty their pockets a little bit after, before they wake up, and they should not have a victim mentality about me doing that either. Okay, I'm lying. I don't live there. I couldn't do that. But that is because they sold out. The truth be told, I would start with the FBA that do with stuff like that and talk like that. I don't give them a pass either. To me, they all are lumped in one boat, and they're all sellouts. But as I stated in my last live stream about the Negropean, the hyena is also a sellout. And I'm going to tell you what that means for the black populations of the future, which is why I opened this up to record. First thing I'm going to say to you is that the hyena, the misandrist, is not limited to the United States. She's not even limited to the Anglosphere of the New World, as I generally thought. A lot of that mindset includes, to a certain extent, Suriname. A lot of that mindset is in Haiti. I've had 2 Haitian Americans within the last month tell me stories that broke my damn heart. We're dealing with a scenario in which, sadly, the worst behaviors have been demanded of us by the women. And to a certain extent, some of this sentiment that Western black women have that we should get out there and get ourselves killed is not only in the West. It's exaggerated in the West, but it actually is in the continent. In Sudan, they have a saying, all the real men died. And then they name some battle against the British in which the men of Sudan died. The women are judging the manhood of the men by them not surviving this particular battle of the 1800s. No one that was alive then is alive now. Stop and think about that. No one alive at that time is alive now. So the men remaining now aren't cowards because they survived it. They were born after everybody that was at that battle already died, whether from the battle itself or just died of old. It doesn't effing matter. And yet the women in Sudan and people in Sudan are generally very well behaved. I give them credit for this. But even there, with an excellent behavior and feminism pretty much being at bay, and right now the people being consumed by war that doesn't allow them to discuss this stuff. I must say that it's sad to see that the women there will even say that the real men died at this particular battle. And even the men have internalized this to a certain extent. They say it is the coward who lives to raise his kids into adulthood. Even some of the men have internalized this, and they've said that real men die when their children are still children. What the wuck? That's what we're doing today. Some of this mindset that we should just get out there and die storming the fortresses of white supremacy did not originate in the Americas. This is a problem in various parts of the continent, and I realize now that I'm not very well versed in which parts have this mindset and which parts don't. I have to admit this about myself. I don't know. I'm still learning more and more each day, and my question is the spread of misandry in our home continent faster than my awareness of it? Or is my awareness of it in other words, am I learning about it as it spreads, or is my awareness catching up to it after it spreads? Which one is it? What's the lag time between the spread and my awareness? Because I keep learning something new. South Africa's gone. Okay. Cape Verde cities are gone. Okay. Angola's gone. Not just the capital city, Luanda, either. Shouts out to Senor Kanga for making me aware of that. Shout out to the brother from Cape Verde that told me about the cities. Okay, but I already knew about southern Nigeria. Nairobi gone. I don't know which parts of Kenya are and which parts are not. I'm not sure, but this is getting bad. Kampala's damn sure gone. Obatunde, I still remember him. I remember him having a chipped tooth because the woman he married turned on him because he just wasn't mean enough. Her family had to come and get her because she was mistreating him, not because he was mistreating her. What the F? See, what I'm finding out is that when Karen Sykes, a white woman that runs Happy Wife School on YouTube, says a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman, I'm realizing that there's one group that seems to be trying to prove this true, and that is the women of our race. Not a particular nationality, but of our race. You introduce women of African origin to feminism, and they take it and run with it. And wherever they refuse this and they resist it, I don't know where they are. I'm sure there is such, but I don't know where they are. They're not getting the press. This means that others of us are not going to know where these resistant women are. So until we do know, we are forced to generally do like accountability commentary said and leave alone Black women. I'm one of the lucky ones. I didn't have to. But I'm one of the lucky ones. Like I said, most of us aren't going to be that lucky. I'm one of a few lottery winners. For the rank and file of us, the majority of us, he's right. Whether the Keisha, so to speak, is from Baltimore or Bangui or Bamako, you're going to have to just go ahead and leave her be. I even saw it when I was in Mecca to a certain extent. I saw some of the women's sisters, our race. I think they were speaking Hausa. Now, if they have to be out there selling, then they have to. I understand that it's business. But one of them was talking and she had a male voice. She sounded more like a Black male teenager than she did a woman. And I was wondering, what the F, man? Don't do that. And she was actually shouting and she was angry about something, but she wasn't talking to me. She was talking to some other women that knew her language. And I pretty much said, what the hell are you mad about? And so in any case, what I think is going to happen to the Black populations of the future is that, number one, I think that our population, which is now expanding, is going to expand more and more slowly and then eventually shrink. I want to be wrong about this, but I predict that because more and more Black women globally are being duped into driving us away. And we're willing to walk the up off. I mean, already as it is, African men don't have the same resistance to being with women of other groups. Hell, they don't have the same resistance to being with white women that we African American men generally do. I mean, a lot of men that come from countries where they hardly saw white folk don't have that same resistance to matching with a white woman, let alone a woman of a race that ain't never done nothing to them. They don't necessarily have that. We're the ones that look and say, no, we know something about that white woman. We're done. And we'll even look at women that ain't white, but want to be and say, nope, her too. Nope, go send that Indian woman back to her dad. Yeah, but the point is that our population is probably going to expand or grow more slowly until it's not growing anymore. And it will be because of that misandry syndrome. Sisters in many nationalities and even language groups are going to start with that misandry syndrome and start looking at us and saying, well, since you can't give me that white woman's life, screw you. I don't want you. But there are also those that say, well, I like a thug. So, they'll breed with the thug. And then something else is going to happen because a lot of brothers are not going to just, especially when you look at the race, a lot of Black American men will say, well, I just die alone if no sisters want me. But because of the race, many brothers are going to say, I'm not doing that. I'll find someone else. Never mind. She could be a white. She could take your pick. And you know what? A lot of these women that like brothers from America also like brothers from other places. Some of those MILFs in Germany actually are more partial to brothers from the continent. Yeah. So in any case, you're going to have more brothers from the continent and from the States and every other point in between starting to say, you know what, these women are digging me. It's going to happen here in Saudi. It's going to happen on the continent when brothers can get out or meet women from elsewhere. They're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, she digging me. These women here acting all rough and crude and cruel and mean and always got some neck rolling and attitude. But yes, she's digging me. Let me go see what she's talking about. And they're going to walk up on them and say, what's popping, baby? What's happening? And so what's going to happen is that the population is also going to become less Black by admixture, by percentage. I used to say when I was listening to the Golden Sphere and trying to help, I heard someone say there's always going to be a population of unmixed Black folk. Black folk are not going to disappear. Now I have to second guess that, not because of the men, but because of the women. Internationally. Because too many of the women back on the continent as well are willing to accept this feminism and this misandry and throw traditionalism out the window. So while Karen Sykes, a white woman, is talking about women in general anywhere in the world, talking about nature, but at the expense of nurture, it is ironically the sisters from the continent and from the diaspora that are trying to prove her right. And they have the nerve to sit up and tell the men that all the other women on the planet want. They don't want you for nothing but everything except you. They got the nerve to sit up and say this to the men that other women tend to want for the fewest external reasons. Meanwhile, as I've stated before, sisters have a rougher time getting someone to marry them, but also what people don't tell you, but I know, is that they even have a rougher time getting guys to fornicate with them. A lot of sisters ain't telling you that, but they're coming up across some frustrations even with that. Sometimes they're just trying to, get a little something right now, and they don't find that to be that easy either, as easy as they thought. I mean, they can get, non-Black men to smash, but even then, those are usually the non-Black men that non-Black women don't want. And they're having a rough time sometimes even getting the ones that other women don't want to smash. Because there are quite a few non-Black men. They don't have to be born this way, but there are quite a few of them who by the time they are adults, for whatever reason, whether it's brainwashing, nature, or both, it doesn't matter. The result is that there are many of them who don't even understand why anybody would be sexually attracted to a Black woman. So with that being said, I hope that I've explained my prediction and why I think that this is going to happen. I I'm not speaking as a prophet. I'm just saying that these are the forces that we're looking at, and this is the direction in which they're pointing. I would like for something to come along and prove me wrong. I just don't know what the hell it could possibly be right now. We'll see, though. But prepare yourselves for this. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing for you, prepare yourselves for it. See, AC, Accountability Commentary, shouts out to him, says, don't even mess with a black woman. He would hate me if he knew I existed because I'm married to a black woman, even though I'm happy and I don't have a reason to leave her. He would hate me, but I'm telling you that I'm letting you know right off the bat right now that we actually do face a scenario, a phenomena in which more and more and more and more women of our race, not any particular nationality or even language group, but of our race, are out there willing to prove AC right. So he ain't making up what he says. We can argue about how far he's gone. Did he go too far, not far enough? That's another debate for another time. But they're out there willing to prove him right. Feminism in Africa does not seem to me to be being resisted. It does not seem to encounter much of a resistance. LGBTQ, yes, but feminism, misandry, nope, doesn't seem to. And one of the reasons is because we have not taken misandry and linked it to LGBTQ the way that women do try to link us to LGBTQ when we merely just become red pill aware and aware of the games that women play. You just express awareness, oh, you 9AY, even though their best friend is 9AY. That's another talk for another day too, but it's already been covered by Edward Allen Anderson and BGS Ibmore in depth about how they support while still trying to they support the alphabet agenda while still trying to weaponize alphabet accusations against heterosexual men. I referred you back to them for more coverage on that. Thank you for listening. As always, Black Heart, Black Mind, Blackout, Assalamu Alaikum, and Black Heterosexual Non-Select Male Power just because they don't like it, and Black Patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Thank you again for flying with us here on Jet Black Airways, where Jet Black is also a verb, for the duration of this 87th episode of the Black Manosphere Show of the Week. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.